author of the new children's book, Mousetronaut Saves the World. He served the country for 25 years in the Navy and did 39 combat missions. How do you feel, or what is your reaction when you see the former president who avoided the draft through bone spurs, disrespecting in a myriad ways the men and women who have served, sacrificed, and many whom have died for our country?
Yeah, it's troubling. I've watched Donald Trump over his 4 years as president, as commander-in-chief. The things he has said about veterans service members who have paid the ultimate price, World War I veterans who are buried in a cemetery, calling them suckers and losers. And then what happened at Arlington, last week. I mean, he's a guy that, this is my view on this. He puts everybody into one of two categories. You're either the con man or you're the person getting conned. And he feels that people were somehow tricked into serving in the military. When I was flying over Iraq in the first Gulf War, and I had a missile blow up next to my airplane on my first combat mission, not for 1 second did I feel like I was tricked into serving in the military. I mean, people go into the military for different reasons, but most of us go there because there is something more important than ourselves: the safety of our fellow citizens, our country, service, patriotism. And I don't think the former president gets that. But I know who does get that, and that's Kamala Harris. I've talked to her about service. I've talked to her about the military. So we just got to make sure that Donald Trump should not be commander-in-chief again. That is very clear to me.
All right. This is the second time that you and I have talked about a children's book. We spoke about 12 years ago, the first one of these, which was called Mousetronaut.
Yes.
Which became a New York Times #1 bestseller.
100% because I went on your show.
That's exactly right.
So,
that's exactly right.
No pressure.
No pressure. The new book is Mousetronaut Saves the World. How does the mouse... And there's some science in here, right?
There's science.
Warning, there's some science in here. How does the mouse save the world? And it says, based on a partially true story.
Well, the partial part is I had 18 mice on my first space shuttle mission. And
on purpose?
On purpose. Yeah, they weren't like under under the floor or anything.
Yep.
We had 18 of them. 17 of them were freaked out. Kind of like when you were in the simulator with me.
Yes.
Kind of like that.
All right.
One of them seemed to get it and would fly across and get his water and float over and get his food. So we labeled him the Mousetronaut. And that's the partial. But what happens here is through teamwork, when we work together as a team, we can accomplish big things. And he works together to save the planet from an asteroid.
Let me ask this. We got to go here. We got to ask you something. Two astronauts went up on the Boeing Starliner, and they were supposed to be up there for 8 days, and now they're going to be up there till next February at least. You've been up there. How would you feel if you went up for an 8-day tour and had to stay another 6 or 7 months?
Well, 8 months, I think, is the plan right now. So
okay.
8 days to 8 months. They're both very professional. I've known them for over 30 years, Sonny and Butch. They're
freaking out in a very professional way.
Well, I think when they're gonna freak out is sometime tomorrow. They're gonna be looking out of the window and their ride is gonna leave.
Oh, the Starliner's leaving without them.
It's gonna leave tomorrow without them. So they're gonna be sitting there. The thing undocks, pulls away, and it's gone.
Wow.
And they're still on the space station. And that's gonna, having been there 4 times, I can't imagine what I would feel like if the space shuttle just got up in the middle of the night and just departed and left. And I'm still there, and that's what's going to happen to them.
It's like the shuttle got repossessed while you were sleeping.
It's just like, hatch closed and it left on you.
Wow.
So that's the situation they're dealing with. Mm-hmm. They're going to come home in February. They're fine. They're safe.
Plenty of oxygen up there and everything?
Plenty of oxygen and food. I think probably the worst thing is they only had clothes for 8 days. So they're probably wearing somebody else's dirty shirt from a year ago.
Wow. There's no laundromat up there?
There is no way to do laundry. So you're going to have like food stains from another astronaut's shirt.
And there's no way to air out odors up there.
Well, you can stick it in the corner, The problem is the whole place smells like a locker room. So
Wow.
airing it out isn't really a thing because the air
Can't
isn't-
crack a window.
You cannot crack a window.
How long was the longest you went up there? Because your brother went up, Scott went up much longer, right?
Yeah, he did a year in space, and then he did 6 months. My twin brother, Scott, went into space for 520 days. I have 54 days in space.
That's pretty good.
54 sounds like a lot, right? It's probably more than everybody we add up in this. It's probably more.
Probably.
You don't know who's here, but
We don't know, yeah.
But it's probably more. My brother has almost 10 times the amount of time in space that I
Wow,
do.
does he lord it over you?
No, he doesn't. He could.
Yeah.
But if he does, though, what I would say to him is, I was the pilot of the space shuttle twice and the commander of the space shuttle twice. He only did that once.
You could also haul him up before your Senate committee.
I could
Yeah.
do that. And we could talk about aliens.
Yes.
Please do.
I will try to get to the bottom of the alien thing, and I will report back to you.
You're acting like it's a joke, but it's not. There are aliens up there. All right. Senator, thank you for being here. His children's book, Mousetronaut Saves the World, is out Tuesday. Senator Mark Kelly, everybody. We'll be right back.